Check 1 2. Check 1
Check.
2.
Check.
Check. Bring the check, please.
You know what? I don't think I've had headphones
You're
on.
too
in a
far
long
away
time.
from your mic.
Can't
too.
hear it?
Why don't you just hold it? Jeez.
Just lean back in your chair. That's what
There.
I'm saying. Like,
I'll hold the
oh my
mic.
goodness.
It's all
How's
comfortable
that?
now. It's all comfortable.
This is a neat location.
You got to get comfy.
So we'll tell the listeners where we are.
We're in the
And there's a million other things to talk about today.
JB's basement, dark basement studio.
It's a bit dark.
I can hardly hear myself. Am I low?
It's dark.
Is this thing on?
It's unfinished, but it's like everything within that is like finalized. Like I assume there's a TV behind those cupboards.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 TVs down here.
I'm surprised it's not finished.
That's like one less than your parking space allotment outside.
I don't know about
Ouch.
that. Yeah.
It's not an ouch.
It's just a
I think it was a bit of a burn.
That's
large driveway. I miss you.
That's
I miss you
the
guys.
Stittsville way.
Don't get all sentimental on us,
I
JB.
got Duff. Duff got a man hug. You're gonna get a man hug
No.
later. That's not. That's not a threat. That's a. It sounds like a veiled threat. Oh,
Yeah.
you're gonna get a man hug.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Can hardly wait
Gross.
for that.
I texted you guys 3 quick topics.
I
so
didn't
wouldn't
see them.
Forget. Well, just remember that.
Should
That's
I?
all I
Look
have.
at it.
Not now. We're just precasting. But that's pretty much all I have.
We can also talk about the awkward things that you guys have been sending in text for the past few days, which is
Like what?
weird to me because I'm not watching that show. But we can talk about.
Oh,
that.
definitely. We can talk about The Handmaid's Tale. DDT, you're enjoying it?
I am. Yeah.
Well, it only gets better. Your season 2, like you've got 3 more seasons to
know.
look forward to.
I know.
It gets
I'm
nuts.
almost done season 2.
I just
Yeah.
finished.
Should we,
I just finished the show. We should get started.
Should we? Yeah. Should we get into it?
Yeah, let's go.
Warning, this podcast will be an injurious waste of your time. Warning, this podcast will be an injurious waste of your time.
Yeah, good morning. I'll take a medium with 2 sugar and a medium regular, please. Yeah, so The Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
It's been good.
What's your favorite part so far?
Morning, boys.
Morning,
Oh,
JB.
Morning. First of all, apologies for not doing a show last week.
Did we not do a show last week?
No,
I thought you were gonna do a solo.
I didn't do a solo.
Why not?
I should have done a solo, but I didn't do a solo. You guys weren't.
I didn't know
available.
you were going to do a solo.
I said that in the text.
Yeah, he said that in a text. He said, "Fine, I guess it's up to me."
Guess I should do a solo.
That'd be interesting.
Talking for an hour about nothing and everything all at once.
Well, I did that weird one a few years back at Christmas, which was like a poem about you guys,
Oh, right.
Right.
Yeah.
which was
Yeah.
quite the. I think we had like a whole view on that one or listen.
Mm.
Anyway,
That
we
was
get,
me,
we
I
get
think.
views too. Did you guys know? I'm sure
no.
you knew this, but if you just
I
go
didn't
on
know that.
go onto YouTube and search Cop Car Coffee, they're all there.
I
are
didn't
they
know
really?
that.
Yeah,
I
they're
didn't-
all there, baby.
I didn't know that.
I would say that A Handmaid's Tale is an interesting show.
Why is that?
So what's it about? Let's start with that for the
Well,
the
it was
Podbeanskis that don't know.
it was written by celebrated, well-known Canadian author Margaret Atwood
As a book,
as a novel. Yes,
many
Margaret
years ago.
Atwood?
it was Margaret
Really?
Atwood. Yeah,
I didn't know
she
that.
wrote the book. She wrote the novel. Handmaid's Tale is about a dystopian future.
Why is everything dystopian in the future? That's what I want to know.
Well,
Any-
everything falls
That's a
into
great question.
totalitarianism.
Yeah.
Authoritarianism.
That's true.
Like,
That's
why?
the way. It's because of history. That's the way civilizations work.
It's like
eventually.
90% of the movies
Oh,
in a
man.
dystopian future.
I can't
Yeah.
fact check crap in this bunker. I got like half a bar.
Oh boy,
I
that's
ca-
JB's job anyway. He's
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
on
What do you want to
Wi-Fi.
fact check?
He's on
Cop
Wi-Fi.
Car Coffee on YouTube,
Oh, I can look it
just to
up.
confirm they're there.
Yeah.
So, so it happens when a faction, a Christian faction,
An extreme right-wing
ring
Christian faction
faction,
of the former United States.
yeah, like takes over on a coup of the United
Yeah.
States, and they implement their own set of laws and everything. But the
well,
thing
back
is,
up,
wait,
back
I'm
up.
getting
There's
to that
a
part.
major point.
I'm
Yeah,
getting.
okay,
I'm going to
okay,
say it
okay.
right now. I think
Do
I
it.
know what you're going to say.
Here we go.
That women have become, for the most part, infertile.
Well, we don't know that for sure
We don't know it for sure, but that seems to be what happened.
because it takes two parts to make the child.
Could be the
It
men.
could be men's infertility as well.
Well,
But I like how
Yeah.
you went immediately to women.
well,
But
the only reason
men,
why
the
I
men
say
aren't
that.
admitting it, right? 'Cause it's the
Exactly.
Well, they're not
crowd.
admitting that, but the only reason why I say that, it might be that Fred
Yeah,
might be
exactly.
the problem, but the
But-
other husbands
Yeah.
seem to be able to get the handmaids pregnant.
Correct.
So that's why I say the women.
Okay.
Yeah.
See,
So-
I'm limited in what I can say right now because
Because-
I've seen the entire series,
I
and
see.
you're only at.
So I'm in season 2,
So
probably
there'll be
halfway through.
Duff
So-
will
Quarters
not
through.
be spoiling anything right
Yeah.
now.
So is
So-
it like a depressing drama?
No.
Does it have action?
It
Is
has action.
Action.
It is kind of a depressing drama in a way.
No, I find there's excellent humor in there as well.
Well, there
like
is good
dark
humor.
humor.
There is
Like,
dark,
is it
yeah.
action as in the getting the handmaids pregnant, or is there
Well,
actually
that
like,
action.
There's some of
There's
that.
like
That's the
there's
action that's
drama.
got it banned in certain places.
Yeah, that's
Remember-
action.
Oh.
But there's also action when shoot 'em up.
Yeah,
type
there's a
of
lot of
thing.
shoot 'em
is
up.
there? Oh,
There's
yeah.
no
Shoot 'em up.
Marvel movie type superhero in there, JB. I'm sorry to say.
No, but is it like
It's all
Is it
real.
like a Jack Ryan thriller kind of
Nah,
thing? Is
it's
it,
more of a
No, dystopian.
dystopian. Yeah.
So what happened? So basically, yeah. So I'm assuming the women, just because the other husbands seem to be able to get their handmaids
Yeah.
pregnant. So
why do we always talk
um,
about dystopian and not that topian?
Stick to fact checking, JB.
yeah, exactly, exactly. 608 put in crickets.
Yeah. Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
so where was I?
Well, I'm just. We don't have.
Okay.
We don't have to keep going on about it.
After that
especially
point,
with that wonderful
jeez.
interjection.
Yeah, but all I'm
Uh,
saying is that he wanted to know. So
I'm glad you like the show because
Yeah,
I've
the
been
main-
pumping this show up forever. JB, you're clearly not even
The main
interested in trying
character
it.
is
Yeah.
Elizabeth Moss.
Yeah,
She
June
becomes June, but she becomes off of Fred.
of Fred.
Off Fred.
Yes. Did you get the
And-
offs? Did you get the offs?
Not at the beginning, I did.
No, you do.
Yeah, I got
It's
it.
whatever
They
the-
said it. They said
Whatever the commander's name is.
first name is. Yeah. But they actually said it, and that's the only time.
No,
that-
sure, but
Yeah.
I think I only figured it out as we've seen handmaids move from house to house. So a handmaid could be called off DDT, and then in the next,
Off
after
Duff.
they produce a child, whatever,
Yeah,
they
they go to
move
the
off
next-
Duff
Yeah, off
or
Duff,
off JB.
or off
Yeah.
JB.
It's
yeah.
so
Yeah.
it's fascinating, and
Yeah.
I tried watching that show before, gave up, thought it was stupid, and went back at it second time, loved it.
Yeah.
Kind of like my Breaking Bad experience.
Yes.
Same thing, you know.
Yeah. So yeah, the handmaids.
I never finished Breaking Bad. I think
How
I
far
got
did you get in?
I don't know 5 episodes. Something
Yeah,
like
see,
that.
same deal, JB.
And I'm like,
gotta start fresh again. Put your phone away when you're watching it, and you'll not now. You can keep looking. That's
yeah,
fine.
I didn't find it on YouTube,
Okay.
so I don't know.
What?
No, I don't know.
So the handmaids are there to basically
As I pick up my
produce
phone again.
offspring.
Okay.
Get that?
Yeah, got it.
Like
Yeah.
the band?
No.
Okay.
So
that's why they originally coined the term offspring.
is that why?
I don't know.
Oh, I don't
No,
know. We'd
I
have
don't
to
know.
ask the band that.
It's possible.
Yeah. So they're
Not
there.
the
That's
band,
why they're
you
there.
clown. I mean the name of the
Oh,
handmaids.
right.
Off whatever.
Oh, okay.
Offspring.
No,
off
it's
Fred.
of Fred, not
Oh,
off Fred.
Well, if you can.
But although they
drag
call her
it.
off Fred,
Okay.
but the other ones are of
Right.
whatever.
Tough
Anyway,
times.
I
yeah,
just
so
finished.
the handmaid.
I
so
just
I'm
finished.
not finished.
Oh, okay, keep going.
So the the handmaid, June,
Yeah.
she's a very independent young woman. I don't find Elizabeth Moss really that attractive, Joe. Do
No,
you? No,
I don't think it's
You guys?
about attractiveness.
I don't think it is either. But I
Like
just,
everything doesn't have to always be about that.
no, but I just
Yeah.
don't find. Anyway,
Yeah. What about personality?
Yeah, what about
She
Fred?
has a-
Did you find him attractive? or
Fred
no?
Ralph Fiennes. is it?
Yeah. You find him
good-
attractive?
a good
Is
actor.
there a point for him
Oh,
to
Serena
have a measure of
is-
attractiveness?
I don't know.
Okay.
I guess he's attractive as a man. He's
Okay.
an attractive man. So
Can't say it ever dawned on me. Attractiveness was never a thing with this series.
I'm just saying, in general, Elizabeth Moss, I don't find her attractive.
Okay.
I'm looking at
Fair enough.
pictures. Like she's got a style,
Yeah.
but it's not about that, right?
Yeah.
Like it doesn't.
As
have
an
to be-
actress, but-
does it have to? Do all actors have to be good
No.
looking
No,
in
of
your book?
course. No, of course not.
But it's something you see.
One of my favorite
think about
actors
constantly.
is Steve Buscemi, and he's
He's great. Yeah.
See
He's not a
attractive?
great looking
He's
man.
a looker.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, he's got the look for the part he plays, right? The parts he plays.
Hmm.
So anyway,
really.
the Handmaid.
DDT just keeps digging his hole there.
Oh man.
No, I'm trying to get back to my what the show's about.
How
but
far
you're-
are we in? Like 10 minutes in, and it's like other
All
than
handmaids all the time.
Yeah.
like-
Anyway,
like synopsis.
so so basically, they're in that run by ultra right wing Christian faction, and
It's set in the previously known country of the United
The
States.
States,
They call
now
it
called-
Gilead.
So
Right.
is the rest of the world like that? Or
No, no.
Canada,
so
is
Canada
mentioned,
is
and
Canada.
people try to escape to
Yeah.
Canada.
Ah, good for Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice
so
that-
like the present dystopian has just continued on in Canada, and
good old
they try
Margaret
to-
Atwood protected Canada
Yeah.
and threw the
I know, threw the
United
US
States
under
under
the
the
bus.
bus.
so it
Yeah,
is
exactly.
seen as a destination. People try to escape to Canada.
Oh, good.
I'm going
Yeah.
north. to
Who
Canada.
wouldn't? You know.
Yeah.
I'm sure those in the south would go to Mexico.
Well,
We never talk
see, I
about the
can't-
south.
No, you
yeah.
can't-
They
I
don't
can't-
talk about
I
it.
can't
Talk
contribute
about
to
it.
this.
They
No.
talk about the
anymore.
colonies, but we're not really sure where that is.
Okay,
I
I'm
think
sure
somewhere
where
in the
it is.
Midwest.
We need
I'm
to
sure.
move. We need to move on.
We need to move.
Anyway, praise be.
Under his eye.
So that's obviously from the show.
Oh yes.
All right. So that
Blessed
To-
be the fruit.
to roll back to
Under his eye.
the beginning of this was all the weird things you've been texting. So
yeah.
I've been watching. I just finished watching actually season 2 of Jack Reacher.
Oh, okay. We're,
That's why you brought that up.
we're all up to date there.
Yeah.
Have you finished that one?
Oh yeah.
That's
Love
so
it.
good, eh?
I love it.
I haven't- I've not
he
watched.
himself makes it a great series.
He's such a good
Yeah,
character.
he's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know where you guys get all
He's
the
very
time.
attractive for DDT.
It's not Tom Cruise though, is it?
No.
No, it's some other.
He
dude.
is accurate to the book, which
Yeah.
is Reacher is always an imposing man that walks
Yeah.
into a room
Oh yeah.
and like people just like whoa,
It's neat.
stuff's about to
But-
go down. kind of
but
thing.
that's
Great
not Tom
series.
Cruise.
No, I actually enjoyed the Tom Cruise Jack Reacher movies because I thought they were entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You know, but the
The
thought,
series is better. Series is great.
yeah, oh yeah.
By the
yeah.
way, you guys are welcome
Why?
for the coffees.
Oh, thank you.
I actually got my own coffee before I came here too,
So I would like to
because the
thank
texting was so bloody confusing.
I would
didn't know
like
what
to
was
thank you
happening.
guys for coming here.
You're welcome.
Which was and come doing it Saturday instead of Sunday because tomorrow I'm going skiing.
Yeah.
For future reference, do you
Yeah.
have coffee cream in the house?
No,
Yeah, see, I'm so glad I got my coffee then.
I got milk.
Oh, I got you a medium regular.
Yeah, but I just was worried that
What could you not?
JB would make a nice coffee, but I'd be having it
What
with no
did you
cream.
not understand of the text? I said I've got the coffees.
Yeah, well, that came like way after I got my coffee, which is fine.
Oh.
I told you guys I was like, after the hot yoga,
Yeah.
I swear to
Yeah,
God.
you were angry.
Like if I have a normal morning, it's like there's a coffee.
Why were you angry, Doug?
Listen,
Let's
there's a
explore
coffee.
this.
I'll get to it. There's a coffee depletion like feeling I have, and if I get it by whatever 10, I'm good. But if I work out and sweat like a bugger, like I did this morning, it's like that just accelerates. It's like, where's my coffee?
I need my coffee first thing.
Yeah, I don't need it first thing, but
No.
I need it very quickly after if I exercise.
See, I usually have my coffee while at work during the
Yeah.
weekdays around 9:30.
That's your first coffee?
That's my only first and only.
Oh, you're just one, eh?
I'm one a
Okay,
day,
okay.
and but when it's on the weekend, it tends
Yeah.
to be later in the morning.
Oh, that's a bit like me.
Yeah.
Like on during the
'Cause I
weekday,
sleep in and
if
stuff.
I get up, well, depending on what time I get up, if I'm going downtown or if I work from home, 6 usually is when I have my
Oh,
first
that's
coffee.
No
early.
matter what,
That's
though,
early.
whether you're home or at work.
Well, it's 7 if I'm at home. It's 6 if I'm going to work.
That's early.
So that, yeah, I have.
That's
yeah,
true.
that's tricky though.
Yeah.
How's your body if you have it different like that?
It's fine.
It's fine, eh?
That's too early,
I'm 8 a.m. religiously through the week.
except for Saturday.
Well, that's the weekend. Yeah. So then it's with you clowns and organizing these podcasts. God knows when it's going to happen, right?
Duff's on the
Yeah.
Duff's on.
God
he's
only
on
knows.
it today.
So
I think
that-
the only
Yeah.
we go by your schedule for the podcast on the weekend because you got to go to your yoga.
not today. We didn't.
He was very accommodating today. I really appreciate it.
I like how you guys. I can.
Well, after
We're
your
all good at this. We just provide what we have, and if it works, great.
after your
Yeah.
yoga, we normally
Yeah.
have a coffee on. You and
Yeah.
I. JB is not usually there, but
The
normally you and
coffee's
I
even
just have
easier
a coffee.
because even if I have something planned after, the coffee's quick. With this today, yeah, I don't think I could have done any later, and you guys couldn't have done any earlier. So
Did anybody wonder why I have golf clubs down here?
I was available all morning.
this is where you keep stuff like that in the basement.
No, I typically keep that outside in the garage or something like that. But they're down here because last week I went.
Practicing your swing.
I went to Golfomax with some friends from
God.
work.
Really?
Yeah. And I hadn't been
Sucker.
I had not been to Golfomax in probably 25 years. It's still
Good
at the
for
same
you.
place by
Yeah.
IKEA.
Yeah.
Why not? They have one at Shift Performance on Iber Road, like just down the street from you.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah.
It just opened, but I
But
hadn't
you had to
been
go all
I
the
hadn't
way
been
there.
forever.
I'm a scratch golfer at those things.
I'm a terrible golfer.
Not
but,
at the Golfomax, you're not. I bet you parred the course.
like
Every friggin' ball that hits the screen, they say is a good shot, but really they're not.
it's a lot more accurate than
Is
it
it?
used to be.
Okay.
Like back in the day, like 25 years ago, the graphics were garbage. right?
25
Yes.
years ago, you're talking like Atari.
Like now,
Yeah.
the graphics are actually really good.
Like dystopian graphics almost.
But anyway, it was a good time. You know, you have a beer,
Have
you're
a beer.
kinda
It was set in
taking
Gilead.
your time.
Yeah.
Your golf course is in Gilead.
You have
I
to
don't know.
avoid the guillotines.
Exactly. The hangings.
Oh.
That's an interesting.
Where is it? Where is it? The place you went?
It's by IKEA.
Okay.
This
You know where
podcast sponsored by
where's that
Golfomax.
kid's right by IKEA, there's
The roller skating place?
well, there's the new roller skating
Yeah.
place, but there's the
They got a roller skating
the
place?
place for the kids with the
Fun
laser
Haven.
Fun Haven.
Fun
That's it.
Haven.
Yeah. So, but right by Fun Haven.
Okay.
Beat me to it, Duff.
What does it cost?
I think it was like $20.
Okay.
And you're there for it's like a round of golf, right?
Okay.
So like
Interesting.
2, 3, 4 hours, depending on how long you want to
Now,
go.
did you guys rent a cart or walk?
We decided to walk.
Okay.
Yeah. you
So
know,
back and forth from the table.
from
to
the table to the to the
Lots of
screen.
beer drinking.
Yeah.
Not a lot, but
Yeah.
Did you get
Just-
a mulligan, or does it automatically keep score of everything?
well, you can choose to have a mulligan or not.
Okay.
You can turn on a whole bunch of
Okay.
features.
Is there
and
a
stuff.
putting component as well?
Oh yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Do you walk over to like a putting green once you're on the green? or-
No,
many-
so where you tee off,
Yeah.
essentially there's different levels of I'll
Okay.
call it grass. So there's like the rough, there's
How many
the fairway.
How many balls did you lose?
That's the awesome thing, is that unless you have a weird shot where it goes like in the corner of the screen or something, I came home with all my balls.
That's good.
Nice.
Take that any way you want.
Yeah. Which course did you play? Was it Pebble Beach?
No, we didn't. Those are long
Pine View?
courses.
Oh.
No, we played a course in California somewhere. I forget what it was called.
Pine View.
Covered Bridge.
Pineview
Covered
Golf
Bridge.
Course in
Yeah.
Gloucester.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was a good time. I was surprised. I didn't want to go. I was somewhat convinced and forced to go.
When did you go? Which day?
Last week.
How was your
Was that,
body the next day?
It was fine.
Yeah, no problem with all the twisting and different
no.
muscles at work and stuff.
Nah, it's fine.
Okay. Because it's very different than stationary biking,
Yeah.
which is your primary source of
But
physical activity.
I do. So for cardio,
Yeah.
I do running and biking.
Yeah.
But I do calisthenics as well. Like I do push-ups, sit-ups.
But the twisting,
squats.
torquing motion of golf had no negative effect on you the next day?
I was having a like a sore neck for the
Okay.
longest time.
Okay.
No. Let me go back.
Okay.
And I went to physio about
Yeah.
a month ago, and the guy said, well, the pain that you have in your neck is because your hips and your hamstrings are tight,
Okay.
because it's all connected.
Makes
right?
sense, yeah. Does
So-
he work with ass pains, like pain in the ass?
He would not probably work with DDT.
Okay, excellent. Excellent.
I
So
knew
was-
that was
that's
coming.
what I was wondering.
I knew that one was coming.
Yeah, no, there's no exercise for that. So anyway,
Okay.
all that to say, I've
Yeah.
been doing a lot of stretching.
Good, same.
Every
Yeah.
day I've been doing stretching for my hamstrings, my
Yeah.
hips, inside hips, outside
Yeah.
hips.
How's
So-
your IT band?
So I think it might have helped.
yeah, the IT band tight too?
I don't
Information
know.
technology.
Yeah.
Your IT band runs down the outside of your like it's
No.
kind of separates
No,
the quad and the
those are
glute.
good.
Okay.
Yeah. It's really like he said, just because I haven't been doing a lot of stretching,
Okay.
that my hamstrings are really tight and it just pulls everything down.
I have this similar problem. I only ask because I don't hate golf. I mean, it's not something I'd ever choose to do.
You love disc golf, though.
Well, I love disc golf, but back to the golf, the motion of the body when you swing a club, right? If I go to
That's
a
what
driving
messed
range, or if I go golfing once a year, which is my
you,
average,
You could tweak your back.
well, I feel fine, but the next day I've got
That's
weird
what
stuff
messed up
happening.
Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
right?
Well, no, I doubt it. That guy golfs all the time.
No, but the way he his swing was so
There's a lot of things that
that
messed up
he-
Tiger Woods.
Yeah, I think
I
the
mean, his
car
knees
crash
went too.
messed him up.
Well, but I mean before that, his cheating on his
Cha-ching.
wife too
Oh,
messed him up. But
Poor guy.
what are you gonna do?
Anyways, that was a good contribution, JB. Yeah. Golf Max.
Should we get into the show?
Yeah, what do we got today?
Loud budgeting.
How do you guys feel about Mr. Patrick Waugh getting a coaching job with the Islanders?
I've never liked the guy.
Oh, you're
Ever.
going right into sports.
were you
talk.
ever? Because is it your mom or your dad that's a diehard Canadians fan?
My mom's more of a diehard Leaf fan for
Okay.
some reason.
Really?
My dad and I were both Habs fans for
Okay.
sure growing up.
So how were you not a Waugh fan with all he
Waugh.
brought?
I was
with
a
all
Waugh
he brought
fan
to
as
the
a
team?
player, but
Waugh, as in Hyundai Waugh.
I can
Waugh.
still
We bring
still
Waugh?
see the last game that he ever played in my mind when he walked by Ronald Corey behind the bench.
But that wasn't
Oh,
his
that was funny.
fault. They
That was
they
funny.
like Tremblay like
you know how they say sports builds character?
Tremblay
Hey?
like.
Yeah.
Come on, sports builds character?
Yeah.
Total bullshit.
But he
right?
was
Is-
a jerk.
is it?
Tremblay was a jerk.
No, hang on. So what's sports do with character?
What?
It reveals it. It reveals your true
Yeah.
character. That asshole walked by like I was done with him at that very moment, and I've never been a fan since.
What
And
was
I,
the
and I
whole?
think,
But there's a backstory.
I
there.
think he would make a horrendous coach because he's not only a wife abuser and a child abuser,
Ooh.
but
Ooh.
Ouch.
he's-
Allegedly.
Really?
Alleged.
I thought it was more than alleged. No,
No, I don't.
Well, we have to say
think
allegedly because
so.
we don't know.
Yeah,
Oh,
I don't
allegedly.
think
We'll
so.
say allegedly. Then.
allegedly.
I've never
Just,
heard
not
of that.
to
You've
fame
never-
him,
how can
but
you not?
I don't know.
Oh,
I guess I haven't been.
If I wasn't in the bunker, it'd be a quick fact
I guess
check.
I haven't been following his career
Alleged.
after that, but I was a big fan when he was with Montreal.
As
Here's
a
the thing.
player.
And
As a
act-
player.
And actually, yes,
Yeah,
of
of
course.
He
course.
just won
Great
the
goalie.
And
He
at
just won
that
the Memorial
game,
Cup.
I was also watching that game.
Yeah,
And the feeling I got after that game
yeah.
was the coach was the problem. And there was a big backstory behind that.
He
No, and I
just-
wasn't a huge fan of him either, but
Duff. He just won the
Yeah.
Memorial Cup.
with the Montreal Canadiens,
No.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The Memorial Cup for Junior A, right?
Couldn't care less.
Well, he was the coach of the was it Quebec Ramparts? Was it?
I don't like him.
Yeah.
They
I don't
just
like
won the
him.
Memorial Cup last year.
He
So
I-
I'm
I
just
don't-
saying
he's got
he's-
a bit of an attitude.
For character,
that's
I
why
don't
he
like
left
him.
Colorado.
I don't like
Colorado,
But
right?
but he probably holds one of the best quotes in hockey, where I think it was Jeremy Roenick
yeah.
that was throwing him under the bus or something
Yeah.
like that. And it's like I can't hear him.
Yeah.
I have my 2 Stanley Cup ring in my ear.
Yeah, that was funny.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think he's probably reformed a bit because I've heard some good things about him.
Reformed from what?
Well, from his.
Well,
bad
he had
attitude.
anger problems,
Yeah.
right?
Oh,
He had
has-
attitude
oh.
problems,
Oh, I didn't-
obviously.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
like I
course he
remember
had.
who did he coach?
How's
He
his relationship with
coached
his
an
kid?
Avalanche.
Yeah,
Avalanche.
he coached
Yeah.
the Avalanche, and he was
Yeah.
like nuts on the bench,
Yeah.
right? Like he was throwing
Yeah.
sticks everywhere. and,
How's he
like-
doing with his kid, his son that used to play? How are they?
Well, ironically, I was on Twitter today, and
yeah,
his
they're estranged. That's what.
well, no, his son apparently
He's a musician.
went online and said, "Congrats, Dad! So proud of you. You're gonna do an awesome job there." Blah blah blah.
You
So,
think?
Maybe they've
well, that's I don't know.
mended fences. Here's the thing, though. There was
Yeah.
a backstory to that whole reason why he did that, right?
Why?
I just can't remember it off the top of my head, but
So why would you bring it,
it
up
was
again?
well because like I think like Duff's painting it like well the guy
You're
was
adding
an
nothing.
asshole, but I think in the end it was kind of a two-way street because
Mario Tremblay
Tremblay
was
being a total prick to him, but also the team.
yeah.
There was something going on with the team, and he just said, enough of this. I'm not
Yeah.
never playing for the Canadians again.
Mm.
And he didn't.
Did you see the
Yeah.
Sens game though the other night when they were in Montreal playing the Habs?
Oh, we're jumping around here, right?
Yeah, I just wanted to bring this up because
Well,
I
we're
thought it was
still
kind
on
of funny.
hockey though.
Yeah,
Okay.
I thought it was kind of funny because I know we're on the sports and we don't talk much sports, but Michael Landauer, who was a 10% owner of the Montreal Canadiens,
Oh, when he was watching the Canadians
before
game?
while
Yeah.
he was there
Yeah,
at the
yeah,
Bell
yeah.
Center
in his old seat.
in his old seats down
Yeah.
by the glass,
That was
Yeah.
awesome.
and every time the Sens scored,
They-
he
they
was
had-
cheering.
Yeah.
around
Standing
everyone.
up and cheering.
I thought that was great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was hilarious. That,
Well,
to me,
he-
that was funny.
You got to do what you got to do.
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
like I think he's since sold his share. I believe
He had to,
He had to, yeah.
as part of buying
Yeah.
the team. he
So
had to get
yeah,
rid.
so yeah, it was just kind of funny because he
Yeah.
still has his season tickets
yeah,
there.
That's
and
quite funny.
He
yeah,
was down
yeah.
in the stands and
Mm.
Yeah.
cheering on the Sens, of course, and Yeah, it was good.
So on the topic of hockey, last week I went with my wife, my daughter, and my daughter's boyfriend to see a PWHL game.
Professional Women's Hockey
The
League for
sec-
all those
I think
Bobinskis.
the second or third game in Ottawa with the PWHL.
Yeah.
Billie Jean King had a little intro on the screen at the
that's
beginning.
you know what? To me, that is amazing that they were to get her as like the is she the commissioner or she's like the head of the league or something like
think
that?
so.
Yeah. A legend tennis star.
Yeah.
that's
They got
interested in
like
hockey.
they got
yeah.
they have a lot of good backing around it.
Yeah.
I've always thought that it was a little odd that, I mean, everything was it was really fast, right? It's like there's a league coming, there's going to be teams,
It was
they're going to
really
be playing.
rushed. Yeah.
It was really rushed.
They don't even have names.
Well, no. So
Just the
so
Ottawa PWH.
I
don't
thought
like that.
The
I thought-
Toronto PWH.
I thought that was weird, but
yeah.
in hindsight, like they're talking about it and they're saying like, look, a name is something that sticks with a team forever. So
Yeah.
we didn't want to rush naming the teams. We wanted to take our time and do it right, kind of
Yeah.
thing. So
Hopefully they get it.
So
out by
it
next
was-
season.
it was. I would say it was almost a sold out crowd. I
It
saw.
was the largest crowd ever for a women's hockey game up until that moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Winnipeg Minnesota beat them out the next game.
They did.
Yeah.
I you know what? Like I've been to quite a few Sens games.
Where you're talking about 8,000 people, right?
Something like that.
And it was very loud, lots of cheering, like really excited crowd. There was tons of kids there with, mostly girls hockey teams. I saw a ton of Canada Rangers jerseys around the
Yuck.
rink and stuff like
Was
that.
it only
Yeah.
loud because the Jumbotron said, get loud, get
No.
loud? Oh,
No.
okay.
That did help.
Applause.
That's such an Ottawa
Applause.
thing.
Yeah. There was
Make noise.
Bruy.
Bruit.
Bruy.
Faire de bruit.
there were what was I going to say? The wave went around a couple
wave.
times.
Nice.
Nice.
Anyway, I thought it was interesting. There was quite a bit of physicality.
Yeah.
That was one thing that they wanted to have in the game. So
There was
the
a-
players agreed to like sort of body contact.
So
and
there's
stuff
no like mid ice. You got your head down. I'm going to take you out. But they'll
Not yet.
get
Not
crushed.
yet, yeah.
They're getting crushed in the
Here's-
boards.
So I like that about it. I like that they are like allowing the hitting in the game
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But the only thing is, hockey is not hockey until someone loses a tooth, in my opinion. So they got to take off the masks and go with the visors. And you can't wear makeup underneath,
It may or may not come. I don't know.
Says
Yeah.
Mr. How attractive are they?
I don't know. I don't see them.
Did you just say they can't wear makeup
They
underneath?
shouldn't wear makeup during a game.
What does that have to do with anything?
Come on, it's not hockey. I loved in girls hockey. When I was helping you coach and on the bench and
God.
stuff like that.
Where is this going?
When I remember a girl specifically coming off the ice and she was complaining about what happened in front of them. They were mixing it up a bit. It might have been in U15s.
I blame-
Like this
I
girl
blame
called,
the
this
head-
girl called me something kind of thing.
Yeah.
I
It was
blame
like
the head coach for having you on the bench, first of all.
That's problem one.
Yeah, it was like this girl called me something, so I said her eyebrows were like needed to be trimmed or something like that. That was the comeback.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was like, oh, that's pretty unique.
So putting aside the
Girl
sexist
soccer.
comments,
And the eyebrow ratings.
yeah, I enjoyed it. It was again,
Cool.
you can't go there expecting NHL or OHL
Yeah.
hockey. It's
Yeah.
very different, right? Like
Yeah.
we all had doters. We all had
Doters.
daughters who we coached,
Yeah.
in B hockey, A hockey, double A hockey, whatever. And
Not
so
our daughters.
so we've seen
My daughter, a little bit.
not.
Double A.
She backed up and went to
Oh,
practice.
Oh,
Okay.
so she was
Okay.
on the bench for.
She was, yeah.
Oh, there
Okay.
you go.
Um,
I retract the statement.
Yeah. She didn't get into a game, unfortunately.
That's
but
okay.
she
Well, then
practiced with the team.
part of the
then
team.
you can't bring it up.
It's
So
part of the team.
She because the other goalie got injured, and so they brought her up, and
Oh.
quite a bit
So
of
I
practice.
Good
I was
times.
used to that
Yeah.
style of hockey,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like it's very different. You go see the NHL, as you guys know, you'll have like 100-mile-an-hour pass, and it's like Velcro on the end of the
Yeah,
stick,
it's
right?
too-
Like
It's very programmed.
you're not
Yeah.
you're not seeing that. However, you also have 12 guys on the
Yeah.
ice at one end, and 14 if you add the refs and
Yeah,
whatever, right?
yeah.
Like there's literally no room
16
to move.
if you had the linesman.
No room if you're trying to move.
Yeah.
So
He said 4.
so the
4
players
guys if you had the refs.
14. I
So
don't know.
how many players are on the ice?
14.
12.
There's 12.
12.
Two
12.
goalies, 10 skaters.
Go slow for a sec.
Sorry.
How many players are there on a team?
Oh,
on the ice?
players on. Okay, you would say players. I was
6
thinking 10 players
times
plus
2.
2 goalies. Okay.
The goalie parent doesn't even count the
The,
goalie.
I
the,
should
goal,
count
the
the goal.
goalie's not a player?
Technically, I guess, but usually you just say goalie. That's the way I go by. But yes, okay, 16 then.
Is his brain not getting connection down here?
I think
You
that's
think?
it.
In the
I think
bunker?
that's it.
He doesn't have enough bars in
I
my
only
basement.
have one bar.
Just
coming up.
take the outer layer of tinfoil off, and you should be okay.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay.
16.
So anyway, all that to say,
14.
there's a lot more.
16.
There's a lot more room for them to make plays,
Yeah.
which was fun.
Well, they're also smaller.
I enjoyed it. So yesterday, for fun, I was like,
They're about my
I
size, some
wonder,
of them.
I wonder what
Yeah.
they're getting paid, right?
Probably a little bigger
Because
than you.
some of the conversation, I was there with my daughter, and
Yeah,
some of the
what's the pay?
conversation
Some
that we
smaller.
had was like,
You went again yesterday?
no.
Oh.
I was looking something up
Oh,
yesterday.
okay.
I went
Fact-checking.
I went last week. I was fact checking.
Fact checking.
So at the game, I was talking to my daughter, and I was saying, like, how fun would it be? Because I remember having this conversation with her. It's like, well, who do you look up to? And there's like maybe 2 or 3 women that played like Olympic hockey, which is not very frequent, right? So their level was like, well, maybe I can get a scholarship. Well, there's not a lot of scholarships, right? But so this was an opportunity for someone to actually go, wow, I can actually watch women's hockey on TV more frequently.
Yeah.
And you have kind of a place that maybe you can end up living out your dream, right? Like CFL. You're never going to make it to the NHL, but maybe you'll make it to the CFL. And the salaries
NFL.
are not
You
the
won't
same.
make it to the
What did I
NFL,
say?
but-
NHL?
yeah.
Yeah, NFL. So anyway, I
Well,
looked
they
up.
wouldn't make it there either, probably.
I was looking up the salaries yesterday.
Some do.
And it's between 35
I
and
got
80.
a friend that did.
35 and 80,000.
Yeah, but a football player making the NFL is a lot easier than making the NHL.
Yeah.
Oh,
It would
I
be
don't know about
hard
that.
for a football player to make the NHL.
That's my only
Oh,
point.
you
Yeah.
talking about making the NHL if you're
Yeah.
a football player?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well that yeah.
Or a hockey player making the NFL.
Yeah, that's true. But I have a friend that
More
was
likely,
a
though.
CFL
That's
player
true.
that made the NFL.
A CFL player that made the NFL.
Yeah.
Well, there's quite a few of those, I think.
Probably. There's nothing unique about that.
No. That's not special.
Played for Cowboys in Miami, I think,
Yeah.
and the Dolphins.
So there we go. So what do you
Yeah,
guys
But
think?
my
pension.
my take on this on
What
the
do you guys think of the PWA?
well
Yeah.
my take. I know you guys don't.
Thir-
like it.
30,
We just,
30 to 85,000 is what the salary. Sorry, 35 to 80,000 is what the salary range
Okay.
is right now.
so they're still bagging
the 80
groceries and
The
some.
80 range is good.
Like
for
CFL
sure.
players.
They would have to have another job like
Yeah.
the CFL players.
Yeah, they bag
Are those
groceries
U.S.
and
funds
summers.
or Canadian, I wonder?
I don't know.
'Cause it
That's
is
a-
an
Oh, so I
international
bet you it's
league.
American.
That's a very
I bet
good
you US
question. I'm
funds.
not sure.
80 U.S. would be a nice salary.
That's not a
Yeah.
bad salary.
Yeah.
That'd be like 120, which is not bad.
That's not bad at all.
My
Actually,
take.
yeah, that's a good point. I'll have to look that up.
Fact check.
Well, 30. Oh shit.
Why are you swearing? Don't be cursing.
32 minutes.
What's wrong?
Oh, my take on it, and which I know you guys don't agree with, but I'm going to say my take on women's sports in general.
Okay.
How
do you know we don't agree?
Because we talked about this before the cast briefly, and you guys didn't agree. But my
I
take
may have agreed.
my take on sports in general is that sports is
35 to 80 US dollars.
Nice. Okay.
That's not bad, actually.
That's very
In
good.
hindsight, that's 120K.
Yeah. I hope it's sustainable. Like somebody's got to pay those
well.
salaries.
That's what I'm trying to get at here.
Yeah. Okay.
So
go.
my take on
What's your point, DDT?
well, would you guys not agree that sports is mostly a male
Don't assume that we'll agree.
watched thing?
No.
Depends on the sport.
Depends
probably.
on the sport,
Yeah.
absolutely.
No, but how many? Like my wife, for example. Does your wife like to watch sports on TV?
what
Duff,
what
does
sport?
your wife like to watch sports on TV?
Absolutely.
So,
what
yes.
sports does your wife play?
She doesn't play any.
Okay. So my wife played hockey.
I know she plays-
played
she
ringette,
thinks- she
and
still
she plays
plays.
soccer.
While
Yeah.
you're cleaning the house, she's out playing, right?
Yes.
So,
While you're cooking dinner, she's out playing.
Touche.
While you're taking your kids to different
Yeah,
events, she's playing sports.
Soccer, yeah.
Yes.
But I would say,
But so that's
what is the amount of women that watch? Because my point is that I think they rely, like NBA and stuff like that, rely on men to watch.
Your point is
the
better
sport.
served if we stick to hockey, because for baseball, for instance, my wife loves the Jays, as do I. We watch
So would
almost
you
every
watch?
friggin' Jays game.
Would you watch a women's MLB?
Well, let me just try to support you for 1 second here, DDT.
Well, thank you, Duff.
Okay. So, yeah, I think a lot of the ladies I work with at work, it's probably an anomaly, but they're all friggin' Jays fans. Like, once the Jays start, that's all we talk about.
So maybe.
And I will go to multiple Jays games in a year with my wife. And
yeah. So maybe
when I'm there, it's 50-50. There's women everywhere. Okay.
Right.
Hockey, you might have a point with the NHL. It's probably watched by more men.
NFL, I would say as well.
No, I wouldn't say NFL.
NBA.
I
don't know enough about the NBA.
I think NFL. There's a lot of women fans,
Because
Yeah,
it's
but
like it's the biggest
I'm just
sport in
saying,
the world. So.
especially this year.
Soccer.
Now that
Yeah,
Taylor Swift is actually
exactly.
like
Soccer.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: I still believe that most sports are dominated by like people that watch.
Yeah.
Is mostly male. So
I would
you're
say
trying to
hockey-
attract
yeah.
men to watch women's sports for the
Right.
most part.
Right.
I think in this
And
case,
that's not going to succeed, in my humble opinion.
I think it'll be really dependent on the product that they deliver, and
Yeah.
if the games are
That's
good,
why I'm saying hitting. That's why I'm glad they allowed hitting in the game.
And the cost of the ticket. What did you pay, if you don't mind me asking? Or did you get free tickets?
No, I paid.
You paid, okay.
So the tickets seem to range between $20 and $50.
My colleague.
So very affordable.
My colleague.
I paid $30
Okay.
per ticket. Actually, sorry, 25.
Okay.
So it was a little over $100 for the four of us for tickets.
That's doable.
My colleague
Okay.
bought
Yeah,
season
and it was a
tickets.
really fun night.
Yeah.
Yeah, my colleague went
They're at
right
the
away.
right stadium, that's for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
My colleague right away when the team was announced, he bought season tickets.
Yeah.
So he
Wow.
loves it. He's got a smaller, younger daughter.
Okay.
Like she plays hockey.
Yeah.
And I you know,
They'll
I'm-
draw a lot of that. For
my
sure.
my two sons never played hockey or other sports really. My daughter was the soccer and hockey player,
Yeah.
right? So I'm all for, and I went to every one of her. I don't think I've ever missed a practice or a game, maybe one or two.
Well, it's a couple
But-
you had to watch through the door from outside the rink, but you were there.
Right, I was
Yeah.
still there.
You were still there.
I was still
Yeah.
there. And now she's in U.S. playing college. By the way, Lady Bobcats.
Oh.
Go Bobcats. They
Update.
apparently have made the
Oh,
Nationals
Indeed.
in Westchester, Pennsylvania.
Somewhere in Pennsylvania. Have we
Westchester.
narrowed down the town yet?
Yeah, we
Westchester.
know now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So can I just make a comment that
So I'm all for that. I'm
both-
all for I'm glad to see the women playing, but I think if they're relying on mostly men to watch,
So you don't think it's
game.
sustainable?
it might not be sustainable.
Might not be sustainable.
I hope it is.
I
but I'm
have
not
a
sure.
feeling that it is, as long as the product that they deliver is good,
Yeah.
and that they don't try to have like 50 teams within the next 5 years. Right?
Mm.
There's 6 teams right
Well,
now.
that will water down the talent for sure.
There's-
Maybe my daughter can make it.
Well, I think a lot of people could make it if they do that, right? There's not that high level. I don't know that there's that many high level players that would kind of want to put maybe a career aside at the moment
Yeah.
and go.
Yeah.
I want to play professional.
I think my
hockey."
daughter would, if she could. I mean, she's not that good to make it, but if she could,
Mm.
I mean, she would probably do it.
But it to me it gives a little bit of that extra motivation for kids to want to go, because it might open that door.
Yeah.
I think.
The
And I think it may help. Like if you
I
talk
just
about
completely
if you
lost
talk
my
about
train
the
of thought on that.
if you talk about the NHL machine, like it's you're the guy that's like never went through, the draft and whatever, and
The walk on.
he
Yeah,
just
yeah.
happened to make the
Professional
team.
tryout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I think it's way more reasonable in this scenario for a girl to be able to potentially make the teams in that scenario without having gone
Oh,
and
of course.
played
well, look,
Cornell women's
yeah.
hockey or whatever. the
Especially
case
if
may
her
be.
dad's coaching or something. Like,
That would help.
You're telling me to go coach PWHL?
The other thing that I noticed on the Ottawa bench,
Yeah.
I believe it was a lady coaching,
Yes, it was.
and on
it is.
and on the Toronto team there were at least 2 women on the bench, and one
It's good
one
to see
guy.
that. Also, I was going to say
I would have
before-
assumed it would be all women, though, everywhere. Refs
No.
included. Were
Well, the refs were-
The
women?
refs were all
Yeah.
guys. Yeah.
Well,
The
there
refs
are
were men.
female.
Yeah.
There are women refs as well. If you watch the games, you'll see women refs and lines.
The
lines.
game in Ottawa,
Well,
the linesman and the
Obvious question. Well, I just would have assumed it would be all women officiators and all
Maybe
women
they don't
coaches.
have enough
Not at all.
qualified.
Not at all. Yeah.
Maybe they don't have enough
Really?
qualified yet.
I don't know. They'll bring in the best coach that money at that level can
Exactly.
buy.
There's
Same with
6
refs.
teams in
I
the
would
league?
say.
And we
They
can't
went-
find 6 female head coaches?
I think they went with the. I don't know if they're
Huh.
if the head coaches are all women or
I'm
not.
They're
just
not.
surprised.
They're not.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're not.
Yeah.
But here's the other thing too. I'm actually glad that they.
I'm disappointed, too.
I'm actually glad that they brought in Ottawa. That they selected Ottawa as one of the cities to have a team in, because
Makes sense.
we know that Ottawa is actually a hockey town. Like, look at the World Juniors for next
Yeah,
season. How
it's,
many tickets did they sell?
Well,
150,000.
But it's original
already.
6, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
Oh,
Ottawa was original 6. as well,
Yeah, like it. They,
Minnesota's not an original 6.
No, but that's a hockey city.
It is a hockey city, yeah.
So that's why they probably.
What are the 3
selected
American? Boston,
Boston,
New York,
New York,
Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ottawa, Toronto, Montreal.
They must have chose Minnesota over Chicago or Detroit,
Maybe.
which probably you'd think could have hosted a team.
I bet you those could be the next couple
Next
of
2
teams. Yeah.
expansion. You're already
Yeah.
talking expansion, are you,
Yeah, I am,
EDT?
yeah.
Because of the fact that it's a lot more affordable
Yeah.
than going to see an NHL game,
Yeah.
I think that will be very helpful.
Well, also
The crowd was a little bit more, I don't know if I can say it, but maybe a little more blue collar than you'd see if you went to
Ah.
Canadian Tire Center.
well, it is so expensive to go to an NHL game, right?
Well, it is. It
Yeah.
is so expensive, and
Yeah.
it's you guys have all seen games at Canadian Tire Center,
Yeah.
and sometimes you can like hear a pin drop.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Different
Well,
vibe.
that's also how the Sens play
Like-
on the ice.
Different
Like
vibe.
this
Yes.
was
Yes.
this
brings
was
out the
this
a
was
lot.
loud, even in between plays, even without the
Without the
bruit,
Jumbotron.
the
Yeah.
bruit, make noise, right? So anyway, I don't know. It was
Now
it
tell
was,
me this,
it's
JP.
very different. I enjoyed it.
Did they play, if it hadn't been for Cotton Eye Joe, I'd been married a long time ago, did they play that song?
They didn't.
Okay, I'm there next game then.
Yeah.
I'm still boycotting the Sens till I know for
I
sure
have
they
no
don't
clue
play
what
that anymore.
means.
Cotton Eye Joe,
Cotton Eye
the
Joe.
world's worst song at a hockey game that they play almost always at
I-
a Sens game.
Sing it. What's the?
He just
How does it go?
said it.
Yeah, but what's the?
Cotton Eye Joe.
I don't know.
If
Look
it
it
hadn't
up.
been Cotton Eye Joe, I'd
Oh,
been
okay,
married
okay,
a long time
okay,
ago.
okay,
Where did
okay,
you come
okay,
from? Where did you go? Where did you
Yeah.
come
Is
from?
it, are we
Cotton Eye
allowed to
Joe.
say that? Like, or do we have
Yeah,
to
fair
pay now?
Can we
use.
say-
Fair use. Fair.
Can we sing music,
Do
but
not
just not
say that.
play it?
Now I got it 3 times in my head to
Oh.
remember. I didn't write them down.
Don't you listen to the whole show and tweak it
No,
as you
I
go?
don't.
Where's
What are you-
where's producer
Crazy.
ever?
It'd take me another hour.
So you probably miss a lot
At least
of
he's
stuff.
handsome.
I do. Anyway, I sincerely hope that it does work.
I hope it's successful.
I hope it is too,
Yeah.
but we can't be hoping.
Should we
We
move on
shouldn't
to
be
our next
hoping.
topic?
Loud budgeting.
Oh, by the way, I just wanted to say that the NHL
Guess we're
is
not
doing
moving on.
my last point. The NHL is trying to do their best to promote the women's game, because they have invited women to play in the
All-Star
All-Star
game.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's awesome.
Have their own All-Star game and stuff like that. So that's that's nice. Of the
I think it's
NHL.
great.
It's great.
It's great.
Loud budgeting.
What is loud budgeting, Duff?
Great.
I have heard
Great.
It's great.
at least 2 radio shows on loud budgeting in the last week, and you guys have never heard the term.
No.
No,
Loud budgeting.
but I'm
is-
assuming it's great.
well, it's
Is it great? Speaking of great,
sharing. Well, you know what budgeting is.
Nope.
And it's almost money doesn't matter.
Right.
This is why I thought it was a nice link to the
Exactly.
show.
JB doesn't know what that means because he hasn't been listening.
Most
Or
people are either blind to budgeting, or they ignore it, or they disbelieve what kind of money they have and what kind of lifestyle it supports, blah, blah, blah. Loud budgeting attempts to bring that all out in the open to make people more accountable. So the loud budgeters that were on the radio, just on my drive here, all
Oh,
the way to
yeah.
Stittsville,
Wow.
half an hour drive.
So give me an example of loud budgeting.
So
I don't know what it is.
Okay, so this lady is, what was her job?
Well, if money doesn't matter.
Here we go. So the lady that was in focus was
JB, you haven't touched your
an
coffee.
early childhood educator. Early childhood educators love their job, super valuable.
they don't.
I think she makes, well, this one did. I think she made about 50 or 60,000 a year.
I know for
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Where the hell does she work?
That's a good
I
salary.
think she worked for a school board in Toronto.
Oh, that's why. Okay.
Well, that's where many early childhood educators work. But
I know
That's
for a
still-
fact differently.
good for you, DDT. Thank you for fact checking. Thank you for questioning my every statement so far
42,
while I try to explain it to JB.
32 and 06.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can we shut his mic off?
So
I
60
can do
grand Canadian may sound like a lot of money, sure, but it's not, right? I think we know the cost of living these days.
Yeah.
So what this young woman was going to do to try to make herself more accountable was to be totally open and transparent, and she friggin' put it all right out there on social media, every dollar she makes and every dollar she spends. So it's loud, keeps her accountable.
Oh, I see.
And people help her. It's like she'll say, okay, here's I made $1,200 on my paycheck. This is what I make every 2 weeks. This is what I'm spending it on, blah, 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 blah. And someone would comment, with that kind of money, maybe you shouldn't be going to Starbucks and buying $6 lattes every day. So she's like, I know that, but now that everybody out there sees that, like, it's enough to make the change or whatever. And then somebody else is like, if you did this, this, and this, then you'd actually have a bit of money you could actually invest, believe it or not.
I don't know if I like that because
it's very open, right?
I
It's
know,
loud
but-
budgeting.
I'm back.
But that's almost like when someone goes, "I'm going to start exercising."
It is like
and,
that.
And
yeah.
here's what I ate for lunch,
Would
and then
that
all of a
be,
sudden you talk, you're fat
Yeah.
shaming, right?
Would that
Like,
be called loud?
in
Or
this case, you're-
finance shaming. Yeah.
right? I
But
don't know.
fat, like,
And people are brave behind a keyboard, right?
Would that
Sure.
be called loud exercising?
but can we not agree that fat
Be like
shaming?
loud eating?
But can't those types of approaches work too, right? Obviously,
to me,
it's
that's
working.
to me, it's just bullying. I think that's
You
just
see no
bullying.
value in that? Well, you probably don't have it's hard to judge, right?
I-
If you're comfortable with your budgeting.
I see a big value in putting that out there and having somebody be able to assist you
Yes.
with making decisions on your finances that maybe you wouldn't have made because
Yeah.
you weren't raised that way
That's right.
or you don't have the knowledge.
Exactly.
By putting it in an online forum where somebody behind a keyboard can be a moron, and
oh,
there's
sure.
so
You-
many
you put
morons
yourself
out there,
Yeah.
Sure.
right? Like
That's
to
part
me,
of it.
That's me.
to me, that's
That's
it's-
me,
To
right?
me, that's putting yourself
I'm that moron.
on a potentially mental health situation where.
So you
all-
got to be able to
all-
deal with that.
Well, yeah, but
Yeah.
not. But can everybody, right? So
No, of
all
course
all of a sudden you're going
DDT
to all of a
can't.
sudden you're going to Starbucks.
yeah.
Because you want to go to Starbucks, and then you feel
second
guilty
guessing.
and you feel
I-
bad, and it's like, right? I don't know. There's a whole mental
But
health
that's
issue
the
around
point.
that.
Maybe they shouldn't because they can't afford it.
Anecdotally, if I can jump in,
No,
anecdotally,
you can't. A major problem with people today is they think they deserve to have a certain lifestyle, but they haven't earned it
I know.
financially.
I agree.
Anecdotally, I can confirm that ECEs
Oh my God, we're back to
and
this.
EAs
I
go to
picked the wrong
Starbucks.
career.
Go to Starbucks a lot.
Well, sure. Now, do we agree that?
Is that the right
I can-
financial decision?
Yeah.
No, because they are spending $6 not only on a whatever
Sure.
that is,
But
a
to
tree
hang
bark-
on, to
tree
support
bark-
your point, JB, is it every day or is it a treat?
It's
You
a-
need
it's
your
every
treats.
day.
You
Yes,
need your treat day.
Absolutely.
right?
they
And
spend
you shouldn't feel guilty
No.
about that, right? But then
so they spend at least $6 a day on tree bark macchiatos,
Good God.
right? And not only is it expensive every day, imagine the calories in that drink.
Good point.
Right?
It's yeah. Like, look at us. I don't make a ton of
Coffee
money.
is 0
but
calories.
hang on. I'm just my own loud budgeting, if you will,
Oh,
for
okay,
a
yeah,
moment.
Yeah,
I used to buy a lot of coffees out every friggin' day.
yeah, adds up, right?
And that's just Tim's, like $2 coffees, let's say. I've stopped that.
$2 times
yeah,
30.
I don't anymore
Yeah,
either.
I've
$60 a
stopped
month.
that, and I buy a big giant thing at Tim Hortons coffee from Costco. Interestingly enough, I've finally tapped it out this week. It lasted me
I
from
do the same.
September.
I make a
Yeah.
Keurig in the morning before I leave work, and then
Yeah.
I have my son bought me a
Yeah.
I'm very proud of it, a Yeti coffee mug. It was very nice. He bought me a coffee mug for Christmas, and
That's nice.
I make myself a coffee for the road, and I don't buy coffee at work anymore.
Yeah.
So
I wonder what it works out to. Like,
I do
I
that,
bet you
Duff.
it's $1 or less, right? When you make it yourself.
Yeah, Duff, I
Yeah.
do that, except from Costco.
Yeah.
But it's the McCafe.
Well, no.
Okay,
In
yeah.
my case,
Same deal.
In my case, the coffee's free, right? So if I buy one downtown, then I'm paying for it. However,
What do you mean the coffee's free?
if I make one at home,
Yeah.
my wife goes to Costco and pays for the coffee. So it's
She
not
gets the
so it's
coffee.
not costing me anything.
So that is an excellent cost-saving hack.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
very much. A lot
I
of-
was going to share the same scenario for the movies last night.
Oh, there you go.
Yes.
Wait.
You went to the movies last night?
I went to the movies last night, and guess how much it cost me?
$0.
$16.
Oh.
I bought the tickets, but all the popcorn and drinks were free.
Oh my gosh,
For
that's
me.
like 1/10 of the cost if
Yeah.
you're. You
I
know?
think that most people.
Free coffee. I like
What,
it.
what did
I
you guys
think-
go see?
We went.
I'm gonna turn off my mic.
Okay, thank you. We went to see The Boys in the Boat.
Oh, how was that?
Fantastic. I love
Okay,
those
interesting.
inspirational sport movies.
Nice. Oh, is
Yeah.
it? Yeah. So, what's it about?
It is about.
Didn't say women in the boat.
It is set in 1936.
That's because it was set in 1936.
Seattle, Washington, the year of the Olympics, and this ragtag group of rowers at the University of Washington got together. A couple of them from extreme poverty, which is a really neat side story. This one kid only wanted to make the team because he was living in an abandoned car. He was so poor. It was like very like depressed times almost. Was that the Great Depression? Was the start? It was within that
around
time.
that time.
Yeah, yeah.
Indeed,
think,
it was.
Oh, I thought you turned your mic off.
I turned it off
He's-
back on
he's
for
back.
certain comments.
So
He's
anyhow,
done pouting.
this team gets formed. They beat a perennial powerhouse on the West Coast from California. They end up going to the East Coast and beating all the big Ivy League schools and representing the nation in
This is
Germany at the
rowing?
Olympics. Rowing. Yeah,
Okay.
eight man rowing.
So this is like a 1936
Nazi Germany.
cool runnings.
Yeah,
by the way,
it is very
Nazi,
cool.
Nazi Germany.
So I love shows that try to replicate that. It shows the team. It showed them with Jesse Owens in the stadium going in to walk the. How they make it look so real. It's super cool. I got chills just thinking about it. Anyways, that was a little bonus tidbit. DDT, back to where were we?
Thank you. I don't know, but what I was
Loud
going to say.
budgeting.
Yeah,
You're gonna share more ECE
Well, no,
data.
No, I'm just
Oh.
telling you anecdotally there.
Okay.
What I know about most
Thank
people.
you for asking
I-
about the movie, JB.
What I know about
I
most
care.
people is that they subscribe to the money doesn't matter
Oh God, yeah.
form of budgeting.
Well, that's why loud budgeting should appeal to those folks, right? Yeah.
But as we find out, she has just found out your example.
Who Shunyi?
No, she has just found out.
Oh,
Who's Shunyi?
Who Shunyi?
I'm like,
Why
who
did
is
that?
Shunyi?
Why did that come to your head?
Because
Oh,
you
that's
said
what it
Shunyi.
sounded
I said
like.
she has just found out.
Shunyi.
Does that equal Shunyi?
You have to articulate.
She has just found out that money does matter.
Be freaking right. It
Right?
matters. Yeah.
Yeah.
It mattered to the people that bought the $800,000 townhomes in Carlton Place. you guys following that story?
Yes. Yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
Good
Yeah,
gracious.
that's bad.
Well, just in our neighborhood here, right?
Yeah.
The houses were going sight unseen
Yeah.
for over $1 million, 1.2, 1.1, and now the houses are right back down to like 800, right?
Yeah.
So
Well, in this case, if you haven't heard, that the builder turned around and sold them again.
Yeah.
Like he's not suing the people that bought them.
No,
which he
because
could
he's
do.
making more money anyways.
Well, no, he has to sell them almost at half price.
Right.
He they bought them for about $800-900. He's selling them for $499.
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I've
Money
got my
matters.
yeah,
Money
matters.
matters.
I've got my mortgage renewal coming up in September.
Do you need any loud budgeting advice?
I'll put it out there for
They're
you.
they're
Yeah.
thankfully
It's going to
the-
cost me about $200 more a month.
thankfully
no kidding.
I think
the
so.
Wow.
the prices are coming down. Hopefully by then too.
Well, it doesn't
right?
matter. I'm not selling.
You already
No.
locked in, yeah.
I mean, sorry, the interest rates are coming down.
Well, I was at the interest rate
Slowly.
announcement the other day, and Tiff Macklem,
Toronto International Film Festival.
Toronto
Oh.
International Film Festival Macklem,
Yeah.
who is the governor of Canada.
Yeah.
The
Tiffy.
governor is not the governor of Canada. The governor of the Bank of
Did you
Canada.
just call him Tiffy?
Tiffy?
So
Tiffy.
when
The
he's
question should be, where did you get that name?
When he's
Nobody
in-
asks
Yes.
him about
When
that.
he's in
Nobody
an ar-
asks him about
like
that.
when he's in an
Do
argument
it.
with someone, is he having a tiff?
Oh.
Tiffy's at it again.
Speaking of
Was that
money,
his given name?
speaking of money
Anyway,
matters,
he
I think we
just-
have to collect some money to buy Duff some new socks.
What's wrong with the socks?
What's wrong with my socks?
Oh, they got holes in them.
That's not a hole. that's a situation.
His pinky toes sticking out.
The pinky toe, the whole friggin' sole
No,
is
but
sticking out.
it's
I just have to readjust, and then you won't even notice. There, that's perfect.
All right.
There you go. That's
Money
much
saving
better.
hacks. Keep wearing
So-
your socks
exactly.
forever.
Yeah.
Never get rid of your socks.
Don't buy socks all the time.
Yeah. So Tiff, my
These are
boy
my
Tiff,
yoga socks.
your guy's boy Tiff.
Yeah.
Uh,
What's he saying? Up,
he's
down?
saying right now they didn't change the interest rate.
Correct.
Right. He doesn't know yet whether. Of course, he doesn't know. How
Nobody
can he predict
knows
the
yet.
future? But he doesn't know whether they'll have to raise because he sees inflation going back up. So it's not a 100% guarantee rates will come down in another by the next time they're announced.
I'm hoping.
next quarter.
I'm hoping that they come down.
I'm
but
hoping too.
What's it at
because-
right now?
Well,
like, for
it has
5-year?
come down a little bit.
I'm sure
So
most
five
people
five
are.
years about is it 5.34 or 5.64? I can't remember. I think it's 5.64.
That's not great, but it's not horrible, right?
I don't get it. When we had our mortgage, I think it
My
was
first was-
5% for the whole
Yeah,
time.
my
and
first was
it
5.3.
seemed normal, and
That-
now
That was normal, but I mean the
Yeah.
interest rates came down. Like I think we
People
got like,
got used to the new normal.
I think we got like a 1.74.
Yeah.
Right prior
The
to
new normal after 2008 financial.
and that's
meltdown.
not normal.
But that's, well, it is what it is. I'm not overly sympathetic to people, sadly, that think 5% is high, you know?
It's
That's all
a
I'm
lot of the
saying.
younger people because I
I
bought my
think
first house
8,
at 5.3.
9, I think our parents paid 20. Like,
Yeah.
Well, during the
Yeah.
80s there was that
yes.
that
17,
yeah.
18%.
Well, but people lost like their shirts in that scenario, right? Like
I don't know.
18-20%.
Well, my dad was actually
I don't know
my
if
dad.
they did, JB. I think people lived loud budgeting back then.
Well, no, my dad was telling me. So his parents' place in Toronto, which was in
Yeah.
today, there'd probably be worth over $1 million.
Of course it would be.
But back in the 90s, when they sold the house,
yeah.
it was originally was like back then 250,000.
Yeah.
I think they ended up selling it for like 140.
Oh.
So the market had come down quite a bit
Ouch.
at that time, and he told me I can't remember why he told me that, but he was just telling me, well, listen,
I never heard
This is
that.
what
Why would
happens.
it drop 50%?
it happens.
It's too bad he couldn't have hung on to it then.
It happens. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Got to play the long game.
It's very rare that house properties would drop like that.
Well, they have dropped. I mean, we were looking at, like we just said, Carlton Place. That's dropped by 50%.
good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now, what's the house in your area worth?
That's like a quick
Right.
correction almost, though. Eh?
Well, in most cases, I would say they've come down about 200,000-300,000
yeah,
from-
there you
from-
go. Not 50%, but that's
from
quite a
from
bit.
the height of
Yeah,
the
exactly.
craziness in.
But here's the one thing that people,
Wow.
when money doesn't matter,
when money doesn't matter.
comes to buying houses,
Oh, jeez.
right?
Yeah.
And the problem with lower interest rates is that
Yeah.
it's an illusion that you can actually afford more.
But again, I'm not sympathetic to that. When we applied for, this is what bugs me. I think there's a lot of financially illiterate people out there. When we
I
went
am.
house shopping 20 years ago, roughly to the day, we got some sort of ridiculous pre-approval, right, for a mortgage, and we're like, we're only looking at a house, in the 200,000 range.
yeah,
They're like, but you can get one for 6. You're pre-approved for 600,000. We're like,
yeah,
oh my god,
that
no.
still happens today.
but people get excited about that, right? Oh
Right.
my gosh, look at the range that
But
we
that's
have.
what's sad. They shouldn't.
But
they,
they don't.
know, I
but
They
their
should buy
mortgage,
within their means.
their mortgage
Yeah.
ends up 500,000.
Well,
And how long are you taking
As
to pay
you
that off,
guys
right?
know, we're lucky. Like we're not lucky. We just did what we thought was smart and bought a house within our means and paid it off in a reasonable amount of time, and life goes on. But buddies of ours at the same time, I think, did that. Oh, we can get this. Oh, we can get this. Oh, and
Yeah.
then
It's an alluring thing, and that's the thing about Canadian real estate. Is
Yeah.
that you're right.
it's an
People
alluring thing.
live beyond their means
Yeah.
in buying homes in Canada. We all know that.
It's
But
sad,
what
though.
what's
Then
the
they're
chicken and the egg
paying-
part? part, though.
But that's the thing, right? Like
I don't get it.
I mean, I think the max you could get before was 25 years for a mortgage. I think that's expanded.
Well,
now.
they've changed
It's
that
definitely
over the years.
30 now.
It's
at
30.
least, yeah.
You used
30. You used to be able to get 40.
Like you used to be able to buy a car, and it was like a max, I think, 3 years financing or
Yeah.
something
No,
like that.
5.
That's
That's always
changed,
been
yeah.
Like you-
5. It's always
5. Okay,
yeah.
so you can depending on the interest rate. If you went longer, the interest rate was a bit higher and stuff. But I think you can finance for what, like 8 years.
Yeah.
now?
Well, that's because cars are so expensive nowadays
Yeah.
that they have to
like
go longer.
Can you imagine having like
keep the
No.
payments
a
lower?
$600 or $700 a month car payment
For
like
8 years.
a Ford F-150 for
No.
8 years?
Yeah.
I
By the way,
refuse.
they're giving $15,000 off the new F1 2023s.
Yeah.
Did
By
they
the way,
pay
Doug.
you to keep saying this?
I'll never tell.
I
That's
agree.
amazing.
I'll never
I
tell.
agree. Well, it's because I listen to Shea 106 and they keep advertising
Oh,
it on
God. Yeah.
there. I agree with Duff, however, that I'm happy with my old vehicles.
Don't ever get rid of them,
because it's A, they're not appealing to anybody
Yeah.
wanting to steal a car,
Nobody's
but
stealing
B,
them.
you
Unlike
actually
the
you actually
F-150
need
Studio.
you need to have old school
You need a key.
school skills to be
Yeah.
able to steal one
Yes.
of these, right?
You need a key.
Yeah, we talked about that. If you were around for the podcast, we talked about that.
The last podcast.
By the way,
Did
Yeah.
we talk
Yeah,
about
we
it?
did.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
I'm
The
sorry, I missed
fobs,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, the
like,
fobs.
It's
Yeah.
brutal.
and how the industry
Yeah.
could care less.
talked
Because
about
well, how
every
hard-
time they sell a truck and it gets stolen, they
how
sell
hard of a
another
fix
truck.
is it? How hard of a fix is it?
I
right?
would think it's pretty
Just
damn
go with
easy.
the old
I think
keys.
it's easy.
But
Get a
you could
key.
still hotwire it, I guess.
But they don't want to.
To me,
Why
it's
would
just
you want to?
probably like push a code or something. Like they're all connected.
Oh, they come with
now.
their
They scan it.
computers. They scan it.
Yeah.
And away
Yeah.
you go.
Brutal.
Yeah, we're getting long on the tooth.
Are you?
Yeah.
What did we have after loud
Are we-
budgeting?
we're
Anyways,
are we
if
gonna
you
have
guys
our-
Google if our listeners care to learn more,
Are we gonna have a tiff?
I'm pretty sure it's a quick Google. Loud budgeting.
We're
You
having a
might
tiff.
you might learn some good
me,
financial planning.
What else was here?
Loud
ideas.
budgeting,
Oh, 8-car
snow removal,
8-car
and 8-car laneway.
Okay, on my way
Quickly?
over here.
Quickly, because I got to get going.
On my way over here.
I don't need
As you
this
guys
attitude.
know.
Holy crap, man! How big is the text on your phone?
I can't see.
You have glasses on.
It's still.
I thought you
can't
wanted
see.
to go quick. You won't even let me talk.
Yeah,
Sweet.
okay, go ahead.
On my way over here, I saw one of the things that irritates me most of everything about how our city is run. And you know what it is?
Snow clearing.
Snow removal from streets before it melts.
Yeah,
Here we are. Get this.
I get.
I drive into Stittsville, Ontario from Shea or whatever road the school's on out there.
Yeah,
There's no sidewalk on the right-hand side, first of all.
correct.
They
I
didn't clear
don't
it?
I don't disagree with taking snow away from a sidewalk so people can walk safely. The sidewalk's on the left-hand side of the road. On the right-hand side of the road, there are, 4-foot-high snowbanks with red "Don't park here" signs every 100 feet
Yeah.
because they're going to take that snow away.
Right.
Okay? Let's just think it out here for a second. What happens if we don't take that snow away?
It melts.
It melts. So the city
Thought it was a trick
wants
question for
to
a second.
spend millions to take it somewhere before it gets the chance to melt. I think that is horrendous. Horrible use of our money.
It's very, very prevalent downtown where they clear the
Different
sidewalks. and-
story.
I don't know
Yes.
that. I don't know that it is a different story.
It is a
Well,
different
of
story.
course
I,
it
I,
is.
I don't know if it's a
the
different
roads
story.
go
right?
down to one lane.
I will tell
No,
you.
no, no. But it's not really.
Yes, they do.
Yes,
Yeah,
JB.
they
I'm
lose a
downtown
lane.
all the time. I walk
Me
on
too.
the sidewalk.
I drive.
Like often, it's the sidewalk size that's
no,
compromised.
the roads are down to one
Right?
lane.
It's a 10-foot sidewalk, and instead it's a 4-foot
So
sidewalk.
here's the deal, JB.
Why do you have to take it off the sidewalk, put it on the road for somebody to come in and take it away?
Simple question. Do you need it removed or not? That road does not need it removed. It will melt.
Downtown
I
does.
agree.
Downtown, where I go Fifth Avenue,
And
my-
what do
my
they do
little-
with those signs?
They crunch them right up.
Yeah,
I think.
they go
I
right
think
in
they,
the snow,
They
yes.
just rip them right
They
up.
do.
That's-
They don't move
that's
them.
ridiculous.
Super
Yeah.
wasteful.
Yeah.
But
Anyway.
where I park for my little canal skates, God bless the NCC for opening
It's
it
going
up
to be
again.
closed this week.
It's opening
closed.
back up tomorrow
It's
or
closed
Monday.
now.
I park on, I think it's Fifth Avenue. It's tight. And if there's snow around there, it's brutal. Like
Yeah.
everybody's jammed up on the snow.
they
Parking
There's
on
one
the
lane.
street becomes a problem. I
So you
agree.
know what? God bless those folks and their $2 million homes. Sure, take the snow away from the glebe and places like that where you're desperately needed
Yeah.
space to park
Do
on the
people
road.
in the
That's true.
Do
Yeah.
people in the glebe?
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
The
people in
suburbs, we don't need it.
That's a good point.
The people in the glebe go by money doesn't matter. Budgeting.
We will see if interest rates keep going up and they're buying new houses beyond their means. The suburbs, though, I don't get it. Like, we've got these huge properties and space everywhere, and they're trucking
Some
snow
roads,
away.
some roads need it.
If it needs it,
my dad's
sure.
street didn't even get plowed
If it needs it, sure. If
until
not,
like I don't know when it didn't get plowed. I
Like,
almost got stuck a couple times.
like, I don't even want to do the math. When they do our neighborhood again, which doesn't need to be done.
How many people
And
are
they
on the
like-
ice?
No, when they line up 8, 10 dump trucks and this it's kind of neat.
Well, even my neighborhood, right?
It's
Like
crazy.
nobody needs to park on the road.
No.
Like most driveways, mine is a bit excessive, but you can probably put
You've got room for what? 10, 12 cars
Got
in
a
your
lot of
driveway.
vehicles.
you could probably put 6, 7 cars
6,
easily.
7
and I'm not,
cars. Yeah.
without exaggerating.
I do not exaggerate.
You can definitely put 6 cars in my driveway.
It's incredible.
Bobcats 4, Mercyhurst 1.
But it's like nobody needs to park on the road here,
no.
right? So why
roads are
spend why
wide.
spend all that money? If you have a neighborhood with a considerable amount of row homes,
Yeah.
then absolutely I
Different
think it's justified, right?
That's my point.
So pick and choose and
Pick and
don't
choose.
just kind of
Arbitrarily.
brush a broad
Yeah.
stroke and let's just take snow off everywhere. When the forecast for the
Yeah.
next 10 days is like 0
snow.
and it's going to be gone, right?
I swear to God, I've seen them take snow out of this city in March when the temperature is no longer below
is
0.
that Winston or is that you?
It's brutal. What's third on my little last-minute list there?
You just mentioned it.
Large driveways.
8-car driveway.
Oh, because we're not talking about something you want to talk
Yeah,
about.
look, he's all grumpy now.
No,
eh?
it's not
Wants
that.
to
I'm
go,
looking at the time.
8-car driveway.
I've got my brother-in-law coming over. I
Almost
pushed him back
every
a half
week,
hour.
I want to
Yeah,
get out of
I
here by
know,
11
I know,
to
and
eat
all
lunch.
of a sudden it's
Yeah.
like, oh, I gotta go put
It's
some
only
vinyl
if
down.
my brother-in-law wasn't coming over to help me with my flooring,
Your whole attitude today
then
was,
I would have.
was
Yeah, you got a bit of a
pissy.
negative
Then I would have.
attitude.
It's a
I'd
bit
be okay.
pissy.
I could stay here till 1.
You're
Do
cranky.
a 2-hour
and
podcast.
stuff.
It's
Just-
surprising how it spills
Just
out
tell
on
your
us,
brother-in-law
too.
to go have a coffee.
Tell him to get
Maybe
started
ask-
on the
Probably
job.
get
Maybe
started.
ask his sister
Yeah.
to entertain him for 5 minutes so that you can relax here.
Just tell him to get
It's not his
started on
sister.
the job.
What?
It's not his sister.
Oh,
It's my-
Twisted sister.
Yeah,
I see. So it's her sister's husband.
exactly.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
God, it'll be nice to get coverage.
I made an assumption.
I got 2 bars.
I might have to hit the washroom.
See, there you go. Duff's got to go anyway. Why don't we wrap it up?
As soon as you
Yep.
come up,
Well, let's wrap it.
as soon as you come up, yeah,
You
let's.
guys keep talking.
Well, we'll wrap.
Well, let's just wrap
Let's
it
just
there.
wrap it.
Well,
It's
how
over an
long? How
hour.
long are we? Is it
an
over
hour
an
and
hour?
7 minutes.
You guys miss me.
You know,
It was a good show for
I
the
don't
most
know.
part.
I don't
Other
It
know
was
if
good.
Other than your pissy attitude.
Yeah.
I have a good attitude all day.
Oh, you got
except
a dartboard
the-
down here.
I got a dartboard. I got
I'm-
a pool table. I got nice weights over there.
How come
This
we
is-
never get invited here?
That spot right there is where I do all of my workouts. See the bike there?
That's where the ceremony happens.
That's where the magic happens. Thank you, Zwift.
Oh my God! One more thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking of you the other day at the gym, JB.
Oh.
I was on a stationary bike for my 10-minute warm up,
Yep.
and it was neat. It had all this, like, you could pick the routes and interact with people and stuff. I'm like just ignoring it. There's a lady 2 bikes down from me. Oh my God! Tell me you don't do this on your bike. If you do, I will lose all respect for you. So I'll have to put the mic down and do this. So she's biking away.
She's biking away,
Just
biking.
imagine my feet moving.
Yeah.
Biking, yeah.
And then all of a sudden, she's
She's tapping her shoulders and stuff, and
she's doing
she's
weird stuff
dancing,
with her hands, and then she's up,
Why?
dancing and
again.
stuff.
and she's doing some sort of
Why?
hand work. Well, you tell me. You've never done that?
I have no idea what you're doing.
Okay, thank God, because I couldn't get out of my mind you doing it.
No, you can get that out of your mind. What the hell is that? You don't do that on a bike.
It was some sort of upper body bonus hand work, like upper body workout on a bike.
If I do that on my
Yeah.
stationary bike,
Okay.
which is an actual road
You'd
bike,
fall off.
I would I
Yeah.
would fall off.
This
like
was
that.
the most weirdest thing I've ever seen. It was and it was. Then she'd be back to normal biking.
I think that's unique.
Well,
Unless she was following like
You
some
call
kind
it unique. I call it weird.
Unless she was
She
doing
was following. So it was
some
sort of guided.
Peloton
It was a
workout
guided
thing.
activity
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
involved that with the bike.
I don't know what that is.
Okay.
That
one last
sound-
thing.
That
You're
sounds
lucky.
that sounds dangerous to me.
If you would have said, "Oh yeah, that's blah blah blah. Do it all the time." You should.
Yeah.
I'd be like, "Okay, I'm
No.
out of here."
I cycle. I don't.
I like
Okay.
your
I
know what that
Dave
is.
painting of Dave Grohl over there, except he's missing eyes and and mouth.
Yeah, I know.
Well,
Anyway,
thanks for listening.
Yeah.
It was interesting.
You know who made that? Mr. Hobbins.
that would explain a lot. Then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As when I was coaching his daughter, that was my year-end gift.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Nice. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad we don't say
You
that's
for-
cop car coffee anymore.
Oh,
no,
we
we
don't?
You missed that.
Oh,
We're not ending shows
okay.
like that anymore
Okay.
because now it's a natural. Unless I want to.
Yeah.
If I want to just throw it out there, that'll be a hard ending. But this way, it's more of a soft ending.
Okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of soft
Speaking
endings.
of DDT and that plush couch he's on.